This is Lisa Cobb with DoD Fed Globe, and I am here today with Courage Campaign Arisha Hatch. And Arisha is an attorney, and she's an ally, and she would like to speak to those of you that are LGBT in the Department of Defense. What do you think about equality?
What I think about equality is that we're making huge strides, and that Don't Ask, Don't Tell was probably our biggest accomplishment yet. And I think will lead to much more organizing in the future, because out of all the constituencies within the LGBT community, I think people that serve and veterans are some of our strongest supporters and advocates for folks, because who can argue with your story and with your service, and everybody should want to support military and Department of Defense families, in my opinion. Transgender inclusion is significant because it's part of the broader LGBT movement for equality. I'm personally a straight female ally of this movement, and I personally believe that the bigger the movement, the bigger the umbrella, that we're all sort of served, regardless of our sexuality, regardless of our gender, by more equality within the United States. And our transgender allies deserve continued support because they're playing an important role in the defense of this country. And they deserve to be acknowledged, and they deserve to have a space created for them that is safe and non-hostile for the work that they're doing for this country. And so I view the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell as the first step, probably not the first step, an important first step in sort of the continued effort. And we now have a point and a dialogue, and millions of Americans now know that it's wrong to force our service members to serve in the closet, and we need to continue that conversation so that millions and millions know that it's wrong for our transgender service members to serve in the closet as well. Once again, I work for an organization called the Courage Campaign, and we've been working on this project called Testimony, which is an attempt to get as many stories as possible from members of the LGBT community and supporters of the LGBT community about the importance of equality. And even though Don't Ask, Don't Tell has been repealed, many of the service members' families still suffer under DOMA, and until that is repealed, there isn't any sort of full protection for the people that so graciously and so honorably serve and protect our country. And it's just a travesty and an insult to the people that are willing to put their lives on the line for this country, that will not validate the families and the love that they have. And so our hope, Courage Campaign's hope in being at OutServe and supporting OutServe as an organization, is to help these brave, wonderful individuals make the case for why DOMA should be repealed as well. The fight for the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell is just the first step for many service members, and now that they're allowed to serve with dignity, I think it's important that they continue to fight for the rights that we still don't have. No, and it's important, and until this point, there hasn't been an opportunity to share that story, to share that struggle, to share those challenges. And I think once more LGB service members are able to talk about the families that they're leaving behind to go fight for our country, the more that becomes a part of the fabric and the story of America, the more sort of conflicted voters, conflicted people, I think will be able to have more empathy. Like I said before, I think service members are key. Service members and veterans really are key to sort of changing the narrative, editing the narrative about what it is to be an LGBT American in this country and what it is to serve as an LGBT American. And I think once people hear the stories of these folks, now that they've been released from their shackles, they'll see that their stories are the same as the stories of other straight service members who are leaving behind their families to fight so bravely for our country.